Today we are going to be reading one of my very favorite books. It's called Frederick, and it's by Leonni, and it's about a little mouse. So our animal of the day is mice. This is our little Frederick doll that we like to play with sometimes. Frederick. All along the meadow, where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away. The barn was abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked day and night, all except Frederick. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. And when they saw Frederick sitting there, staring at the meadow, they said, And now, Frederick? I gather colors, answered Frederick simply, for winter is gray. And once Frederick seemed half asleep, Are you dreaming, Frederick? They asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, Oh no, I am gathering words. That's a very weird way to play this up. For the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say. The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideouts in the stone. In the beginning, there was lots to eat. And the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But by and by, most of it had been nibbled up. Most of the nuts and berries, the straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick had said about sun rays and colors and words. What about your supplies, Frederick? They asked. Close your eyes, said Frederick, as he climbed on a big stone. Now I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how they're golden glow? And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? And how about the colors, Frederick? They asked anxiously. Close your eyes again, Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles, the red poppies and the yellow wheat, and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. And the words, Frederick. Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat. And winter is last with cold little feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more. When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. But Frederick, they said, you're a poet. Frederick blushed, took a bow, and shyly said, I know it. The end. All right, so today for your challenge, I challenge you to make a diorama of Frederick's little poem at the end where he describes the different seasons and the beauty that each of them has. You can choose 1 season to do. You can make your diorama have 4 sections with each season. You can choose each mouse, like the spring mouse and the winter mouse and the summer mouse and the fall mouse, and put them into your diorama. A diorama is really just made out of a box, like a shoebox would do, or an Amazon box. I'm sure lots of you are getting Amazon shipments right now. And then everything inside of the box needs to be somewhat three-dimensional looking. So you can use some of the tricks that we used when we made our 3D pop-up cards. You can use things that are actually 3D themselves. You can make it so that they stand up using paper, or you can glue them to something else to make them stand up, but everything should be somewhat three-dimensional within your diorama. If you don't want to do something related to Frederick, you could pick your favorite animal and do a diorama of your favorite animal in their natural habitat. For instance, like we were saying, Judah loves dinosaurs. We could do a dinosaur diorama. Yeah, maybe they live in the jungle, or maybe they live in the savannas. I don't really know where dinosaurs lived. But you guys can choose whatever animal you want, or you can do one based off of our story if you don't want to have to think up an animal and their habitat. There's a really cool website called pebblego.com, and they have a lot of information on all sorts of different animals and their habitats. So if you're interested in checking it out, you could probably learn a little bit about your favorite animal if you're not really sure where they live or how to decorate the diorama. All right, guys, thank you so much for participating with us today, and we will see you tomorrow for our last animal book. Can you say bye-bye? Bye.